happened last was you guys had found yourselves in the company of Silas Creed and made a tentative alliance to continue on this journey to our destination, and that's basically where we left it. There's a lot of interrogation, figuring out safe enough to trust, and you are headed out the area, which Silas has told you is about a week away. We've had one tussle, this new group, a bunch of like...
Oh yeah, and he's staying to sleep the whole
creepy
time
wolf
until the end. Stay to sleep.
That's where we left that.
You're all proper.
No reason to diddle daddle, I reckon. What?
Yeah.
Oh, what was the phrase? It doesn't matter. Go on. Moving past. Don't pay attention. Don't pay.
All in the spirit of adventure.
It is a crisp morning, or as close to morning yet, having to adjust our sleep time a little bit out of nighttime tussle. That storm that I've talked about in the distance can still be seen. It does look like you are headed dorm, for lack of a better phrase.
What kind of a storm?
It looks cloudy, dark. There seems to be flashes of light.
I didn't know it was like a dust. Oh, that kind.
It's hard to know for sure because it's still quite a ways off.
Should we check
by
the
It is
big?
dark.
by a few days.
Yay big?
We should probably check the yay big. Yeah.
Oh, so we're just pulling that out in front of him, alright?
Is he still sleeping? Where is he at?
No, when we left off last time, you guys had like mounted up and like cue City Slickers music are headed off in the direction that you're supposed to go. At whatever pace you deem necessary, but you don't have to gallop your way out, but you are trapped. You are at the beginning of your day one of a week's journey.
And where is he in as far as our progression?
That's a great question. What's your progression? Are you like,
Well,
how are you?
He's leading us, right? Because he knows where we're going.
That is not
No?
case.
What was,
I wouldn't
what
have
was
said
he
that.
after?
Not that he doesn't know where it is, but he is not leading you.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to find.
Sure.
I thought he had a more specific place that we were following.
If he does, we don't know about it yet.
So we got tokens here, so we can establish a travel order.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd ride up with Flint. Not Flint, sorry.
I mean, like, I just put these down, so
Yeah, but
let's say this is the
Oh,
cart.
this front?
Is the cart the front or what? It doesn't. I'm not actually placing these people
Yes, I believe
I've
the
just
cart
put the
should
cart
be the front.
as a
okay.
starting point, and you can decide if you're behind the cart, in front of the cart, alongside the cart.
Where do you want?
definitely don't want to be up in front by myself. So if we have the cart in front, then I'll...
The new lamination is got things a little more loose. So like when we make the others, maybe we really should put the paper, make a paper stem that gets laminated.
I think it's gonna be
Think it's too
thick.
thick?
Well, that was the problem we were running for. I think we just need maybe a flatter edge, like an exact template. Because it's us. Like,
Cool. So that would answer the questions that got asked.
Is there sallow looking rest?
Oh, I was like, huh? I heard, is her sallow looking restless? And I was like, who's and huh?
Does her sallow look like it needs to be anyway?
Not particularly at this hour in the morning.
Then I am very close to getting done with my foot train, so I'm going
Sounds good. Make perception checks for today's travel for me, please. As we've grown slightly accustomed
right.
to in this campaign.
forgot that. I didn't see the number. I'm just when I rolled. 17.
Everyone?
Unless you're like, fuck it, I don't want to look at my surroundings. Like, that's totally okay.
22.
Sheriff's just asleep at the wheel.
20.
I guess I should be keeping track of what your passive perceptions are too, just in case, so I don't have to like keep make checks. But this is like assuming you are traveling and surveying your surroundings and just watching out for anything that looks interesting / dangerous. I heard some decent numbers that sounded like they were over 15 a few times, right? So off in the distance, probably a good 100 yards away, favorite measurements of distance from something interesting. Yeah. You can see three big entities in the distance. At 300 yards, they look almost somewhat deer or other in nature. They appear to have antlers of some kind. And from that far away, they're still probably a good, like, if you put up your hands to make a gesture, they're probably about this big. Everybody start
We did this once
300
before.
yards.
We were able to beat them.
perception too. If you want to do
Or
that,
can we tell which
make
direct-
just an intelligence check if you want to try and do some quick math try and figure out
I
the
definitely.
the right side of the triangle.
I'd probably be good at that.
I guess that is exactly how you do that. It was that far away.
16.
Yeah, if you knew exactly.
An intelligence check, you said?
Yeah.
20. Oh, that's right. I'm a lot smarter now because of the.
So Shra, I know I said 100 yards, but like that, of course, we're speaking in general terms. So it could be more or less, but you're like, that creature's probably roughly, those creatures, of which you can tell there are 3, are roughly about 20 feet tall.
Very large freak deer.
Can we tell if they are stationary or moving, and if they are moving, which direction they are moving?
They do not appear to be moving in the way that you're asking, I think, like traveling.
Like towards or away.
They seem to be, again, this is still like open, dry land, Joshua Tree. There are canyons in the distance and kind of like bordering where your travel is right now. They are out in these plain areas, kind of off to maybe the left-hand side of the way that you're traveling. They seem to be just grazing the area.
Should we try giving them still wide berth? Don't disturb.
Yes, I don't. If we don't disturb them, I feel no reason why they would disturb us. Sure.
Can I roll like a nature or something? See if they'd be really aggressive.
Go ahead and roll nature.
17.
And you guys are still keeping pace towards these things, right? And so you're gaining a little more distance cautiously towards them. And suddenly, like just a surge of eureka, you realize these creatures are called moose-caras.
Muskara?
They are large moose-like entities, and they do roam or in the area that we're used to in the civilized lands in some areas, but this is pretty far from where you're used to seeing them. Maybe a group of them got lost and just wandered this area.
Are they intelligent?
That's a great question. No, not in.
They can't.
They are or monstrous.
Right, with that kind of knowledge, how wide a berth should
And with that 17, they can be very protect of themselves.
In that case, from where we are, we should probably hit a hard diagonal.
I love how this is a lot of our encounters. Seeing
Well,
something
I mean,
way in the
flatlands,
distance.
you can get the
yeah.
drop on a lot of things when it's like that. They are a beast.
We're not going out there and hunt them.
Yeah. But you are used to seeing them in the more woodland areas, like especially like I guess we'd call them probably like highlands, like those dense wooded higher level areas. Civilized world, usually where they seem to have wandered deep out into this western expanse.
Can I tell what they're doing?
Yeah, they are
Why they're
like
out.
one is laying down, one is standing about 5 yards from the one that's laying down, and it's like eating at some kind of shrubbery. Other one is kind of pacing about.
You will defeat this giant moose beast with this carry.
It's a deal when there's a possibility of a Monty Python riff.
The odds approach one. I will. It's only small.
But yeah, I'm not going to stop circumvent this event.
My sister was bitten by a muskrat once.
Yes, I think that is the charge head monsters that are not.
They're just.
Just beasts.
And if you start to move your path, Silas will call out. Sure, they're good for you.
Well, I feel like I can take care of our food mostly. Do you feel like you do a bit of hunt, Silas?
I'm never opposed.
I'm not that interested. I don't know about the rest. I don't
You
feel
don't have a vested interest.
there's that. So I'm on board. I understand that flesh folk do some from time to time.
I ain't gonna tell you how to play your hand, but it's like that a delicacy out here.
I'm gonna roll for meal prep.
Sure.
I can live with that.
Fair enough. And as you pass by, these things in the corner, we'll just put them out here. It's just
That is in fact a muskrat.
Oh, the eyes just kind of blend her. I'm like, do they have no face?
They do.
Oh my god!
Can somebody with less greasy hands move one to just this side, just so
One
it's on
keeps
camera?
falling down. So.
That's okay. Now, want to?
The Wendy can't scone. Yeah, that's a pretty big.
Yeah, even on a horse, like, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
That shit all.
They're
Oh,
moose
dog.
giraffes.
Huh?
Muskrats.
Okay.
They're very big.
Sound cute.
We are looking to circumvent them unless you have any particular interest in hunting one right now for food purposes. Simon
You weren't hearing any
suggested
of this,
it.
were you?
No.
No.
Yeah, these things were seen off in the distance, and there was a thing of like, should we leave them the hell alone? And the consensus was like,
Yeah, let's leave them alone.
probably. And Silas is just like, well, they're good eating, and out here, there's not a lot of good eats.
Right.
But we have a pretty good amount of food stored up.
I think you're right. That's a
and
consensus so far.
we have means
Nobody's
to
pressuring.
find more.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
I I don't
But
start that fight.
But
as they are usually from like, or you're used to seeing them more in the civilized side of the world, out in the like upper forest highlands. So it seems like these have wandered into this unknown zone and are somewhat maybe lost or wayward.
But no, I think we.
Well, as you pass by, one obviously will just perk up in your direction and watch as your little party trails off. What?
I'm just thinking of how much time we spent on all these things, and then we just are like, nah.
Oh, I knew when I made them how this would probably go, but not having anything to like represent them in a meaningful way, I was like, I need to make them, and they are in existence.
Yeah, he was
So-
like, I need to
I
make
love
some
them.
other things
Surely
too.
this
and
will
I'm
not
like,
be the only time we
Like,
witness a moose
unless we
trap.
think we can
No.
get one as a pet, I don't.
I was like,
They
out
are a
of that
huge
whole
beast
book you
on a
just
line.
bought, there isn't anything that can represent them. He's like, no. Oh my god.
But being, yeah, they're unaligned. Being huge doesn't suggest a temperament one way or another to align themselves with anybody else.
Well, you did say they were territorial. Is
They
that
are
the word you
territorial.
used? Okay, so it
Ah.
could
But
be
that does-
difficult.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean they're not. They can't be friendly.
Right.
Yeah, they.
Would I
And
guess you said
3
they're
of
not
those.
from this area, so I probably wouldn't know much about them and their general temperament like that, right?
Wait, what?
What are they called again? Moose giraffe?
Moose
Close, yeah. Moose Carafe, yeah. Moosociraf.
Moose giraffe. Okay.
Moose Carafe, yeah.
Moose
Moose
Moose-
I think it's Raff because, like, clearly, spoilers. This is like a homebrewed thing
Yeah.
from that book I use a lot, and this person has obviously taken moose and giraffe and like
Like-
smashed
Yeah,
it.
he had.
Yeah.
But you said they're not from this area. I was asking, would Aranoa know anything about them? But if they're not from this area,
They're not
then-
from the area that you are currently in. You are currently out in the unknown southwest, like
Yeah,
Wow.
wilds.
yeah. So
The wild
unknown.
wilds.
Then.
But they are from more of the areas that you guys actually live. Maybe not necessarily Mayfield or even Brightfield, but further north where like there's a little more mountainous regions with more dense forests, and up there, yes, they are around that area. So if you'd like, I know I let Flint do it earlier, but you can make a nature check if you want to. Try and glean something else.
7.
It's just not ringing a bell,
Ah,
and everything Flint's saying sounds right. He says they're territorial. Probably territorial.
Okay.
Flint, you'd also know that they usually travel in groups of 3 to 4. It's kind of their familial units. This is well within.
So
Everything about the terrain checks out.
if they're territorial, then probably not necessarily good to try to wrangle them.
And as I said, you guys pass by, perk up, watch you as you go. These towering creatures. But ultimately, they. It would probably be incredibly unwieldy for someone of Flint's size, I imagine.
God, imagine the sound.
Because is an elephant still technically large on the category, or is that actually up?
I think it's a.
I guess I have all the books at my disposal. I could really just look and find out. But
I use
is it
moose
important?
craft in all of my decoration.
How tall are they?
Not probably much like the bed.
cool. Well, after this day's travel and those events, night is approaching. Nothing else about that time before seems to really stick out for you in terms of eventful. But it is around the time where you have to decide, shall we press through the night or something? Do we want to stop and try and set up a camp here? You do see that tomorrow's journey you will probably reach what looks like a canyon. There seems to be, you're finally reaching like a canyon wall, if you will, that's in front of you.
How's the storm looking? Still way in the distance?
It still looks to be. Make a nature check. I don't know why I would just give you that for free.
May I also?
Yeah, you may.
Oh my god.
Nah,
Another 1. 7.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Definitely doesn't look as close as the canyon does. Seems like if the canyon's tomorrow, the storm is beyond that.
Oh, I didn't know if it moved at all. Or...
And that's the other thing. It doesn't really seem to be moved the way you expect.
By the end of this day, you are seeing that where Towers flips have been kind of shoddy up to this point, and he doesn't make it for rotation sometimes. He's really nailing them. Like he feels like it's pretty proficient in his movement by the end of the training.
Nice flip there.
Well, I appreciate that. It's been a lot of hard work.
But yeah, that, like I said, the time, the choice of do we stay or do we go now is upon. And what I mean by that is, are you camping or are you traveling?
Looks like it's getting dark. Would people like to rest for the evening?
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I do they.
Well, yes. But we could always, continue on through the night. Really push ourselves.
Why?
Silas, what?
What's the rush?
No rush at all. I'm just saying it's an option. Silas, you are most experienced out here.
Well, I'm on for the ride, so I'll do what you want. Lands are a lot more decent than I out every day, that's for sure.
Perhaps bunkering down is the best option.
Can be.
Yes.
Yeah.
Coolio. Let me see if I got one thing that's good for it.
I don't know. I'm feeling pretty comfortable with my acrobat. Do you want to start taking a look at this arm that we came across?
Yeah.
Talked about turning that into that weapon from the lands up. Do not with chain.
Yes, that's right.
Do you have any chain?
That's a good question. But we can set up the mechanism to load the chain in.
Yeah.
I don't personally have any chain on.
Is this the game where I found that length of chain?
I do not know, but it's funny that I know I gave you guys a special chain in this one at some point. Matt.
I have not given out chain as loot at any point. I know that much.
I don't know where we would have come across it other than potentially
Mayfield.
in that robot giant thing, but
I might be thinking of a different game where we ended up with like some stuff out of a giant sack.
A giant sack?
No, I think I know what you're talking about.
A sack of goods belonging to a giant.
Ah.
Yeah, no, that's a different game.
That was even different than the two things I immediately thought of.
A hill giant swag bag. I remember now.
Goodness gracious, good going.
Sweet deal. But yeah, you can work on that if you want to.
Maybe while we're traveling tomorrow.
I thought we would do that at the time when everyone else are.
Oh, that. Well, part of the time when we were not resting. Yes, that sounds like it's fun.
It's mundane, right?
No. Well, the weapon that we are creating is, but we are creating it out of a magic arm blade. We are. It is a mundane ass weapon.
Arm blade's magical?
I'm pretty sure. Oh, good question. I guess
I'm
it's
not
not necessarily.
Totally.
So I'm led to believe that while the rest of us are asleep,
An
we're
arm
going to be
blade is
messing
a
around
magic
with
weapon.
Tyrell's chain.
It's the first line of the description of it. An arm blade is a magic
Yep.
weapon that
Yankee
attaches.
Powers chain.
get a tent, you two.
No need.
Oh, just right by the fire.
Just gotta tell me that right here now.
You sleep through anything.
You ain't wrong.
Do you have some kind of discomfort with physical relations?
Wait, hold on. This is about what?
No. Well, she's going to be physically relating with my arm and changing it to matter.
This tinkering got a whole lot more intimate.
That would be pretty intense to be all up in space, closely working.
Yes, it is one of the more intimate things that can be done to my people.
The arm.
Well, not the arm specific, but the tinkering thereof.
Yeah.
Therein.
Cyrus
High
alive, I was
level of
kidding.
trust.
High level of trust.
You said Osiris alive, but I heard Cyrus alive. Silas alive.
Yeah, I'm alive.
I heard, God damn you,
To be fair,
Cypher!
that's also a point of contention.
We watched the first Matrix again. Were you guys in your rewatch?
We just need to watch 3.
The steak is
It apparently comes out on the 22nd.
Oh.
For all those listening at home.
My brain is telling me that the steak is.
Because it's a
juicy.
palindrome. 12, 22, 21.
So we can watch it earlier.
Wait, is
than
that the
we
word?
thought.
Yeah, that is, right? Where it's the same backwards?
Sorry, I was
Yes,
just trying to
that
find the
was-
arm blade.
It's a-
There it is.
Glitch in the Matrix. It's deja vu. It happens when the channel's
Come on,
something.
in.
Are you guys doing Animatrix as well? Or just the 3 main movies?
We hadn't discussed. So.
No, why would we watch the Animatrix?
Why
and then-
wouldn't you watch Animatrix?
But like,
It's
as
so dumb.
no, that
A fair
watching
portion of it is
Animatrix
quite
is
good.
fine, but like, why watch it as like the build up to 4? Like, it's not important. To me,
You never
it
know.
has, I
Watch it
do
because you
know.
want to watch it.
I don't know.
Not
I've never
because
watched it. So I mean,
As someone who loves it
but we
and
had
like
talked about it and you
has
said
watched
we
it
would.
so
it's
much,
Yeah.
I know it has nothing to do with any of that.
Right, yeah.
Because it is seriously just an anthology of like digital shorts that people have made, and they're great. Or a lot of them. Well, some of them are really cool.
Some of them are
Yeah.
really cool.
A good
That
number.
got downgraded
Most of
very
it is
quickly.
pretty fucking neat.
Yeah.
Well, because I was like, well, okay, that one, that's stupid.
Yeah, I don't like that one.
Yeah, not my favorite. But like,
Oh,
This
that
doesn't
one
feel
is
like it
so
don't-
lame.
This one feels like it doesn't quite gel with canon.
But the
I
story,
love this company.
the history story, the two-parter is
Oh,
really
yeah.
good. That's a really good, important story. That's the history of
Yeah,
the
that's
world.
that is some canon
That
shit
might be
right
helpful, actually.
Yes.
there. Shit, what?
I feel like it really
Shit, what
does
is that called again?
want you to. It just
Something even was it?
I honestly.
Fuck, yeah, no, but that one's good. That
Yeah.
one, it's good. It's important.
Sorry, I was just trying to look for that crafting magical item thing again.
If you're into the
Sorry.
video games, Final Flight of the Osiris is probably important to you because that ties into the video game nature ones, right?
Did you see that? Did you see that Unreal 5 thing? Did you ever mess with that?
I never messed with it. I have it
I mean,
downloaded.
it's
I
just
totally forgot.
it's a silly little thing to like showcase Unreal Engine 5.
Sure.
But I was pretty impressed. Like it was like, you're controlling this now, and I was like, I am, because I was like watching a movie for a good few minutes, right? Like, okay, this is cool, like in-game stuff, and all of a sudden it was like, you got the controller. I'm like, oh, okay. And then it lets you like walk around like an open city. It's really rudimentary. You can like drive cars around. You can like walk around and see shit. But I'm like, yeah, this looks
nice.
beautiful.
Yeah, this is good. Good engine.
On a Series X, on a good TV, yeah, this looks nice.
Sure.
I would play this game. Fuck, I can't find that shit. I know there's a thing that talks about, I always have to look at it for Branch, about the like work week stuff that you can do, and I just wanted to make sure that when I make you roll to try and make this, give you an appropriate amount of time to do it. That seems fair and balanced.
This is common, but we already have the item. We're just fucking with
Yeah,
it.
it can't cost more than 50 gold to do it. Is it 1 week for 50 gold? That's what I can't remember.
That sounds like
It's the
a
wrong
fucking lot. Like work week.
I like the one where you just find the glitch in it.
That's. I like the one where the runner, because he's so good at running, is like, oh,
Yeah, the
this
guy,
is
the
fake.
guy who literally breaks through the matrix because he stops breathing in the middle of a sprint.
Yeah, there's some interesting stuff there.
It's beginning to.
And it's just fan-made stuff?
No,
No,
not
we're not.
fan-made. It's all like professional
Oh.
animation.
Yeah, professional studios doing professional animation.
Like, yeah, I was a little misleading with that, but that's not what I meant. I just meant some crafting.
Like in the same way that the Star Wars What If things were.
Oh, creation cost 100 for the combat, which is more of like from scratch.
About 50 a week is what it's saying. A week for 50. The prop is what? 125. Page 125.
Oh, I was looking at I was looking at this. Yeah, this is what I was looking for. This is about fine. What's that? Because it does take 8 hours of work.
No, he was just licking himself, but his tongue happened to catch my foot and it tickled. But before he was like doing, or at least putting his nose on my foot.
Okay, well, it is probably going to take more than 1 evening's worth of work for sure.
Sure. Do you want to call it 7 or 14 evenings?
I'm going to call it 32 hours.
I can put, yes. I figure we can do like 4 hours a night. Cool. Yeah.
And you have all the materials,
Except for the chain.
except for the chain. Exactly. Like, you have to go get chain.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah. We'll figure something out at some point.
And
Could
probably,
I make chain?
and
Could
probably
I
a
melt
dagger.
down metal and make chain somehow? Using my smithing.
I mean, the thing is, though, like,
I know. I don't have
the
the
smithing
means to
tools-
do it. It gets hot. Not hot enough.
you
for
don't have a
your-
forge,
no-
you don't
yeah,
have,
exactly. Like,
you don't have
the
any of
mold.
that.
But
Or-
but if we were to find a forge,
Then, then
I
yes,
have.
then yes, absolutely.
We're on the hunt in the Wild West for a forge.
That mithril cap, did it have any magical properties to it?
Not to the best of my knowledge.
I would want to check that to
Of course,
make
my
sure.
knowledge
but
ain't great.
I think you guys tried to
well,
ping
is that something that could
magic
be
or
melted down and
something.
made into the chain?
Didn't someone try to identify some stuff?
I don't remember.
Anyone have a way
yeah,
to do
I
that?
have ritual.
Then
casting.
yeah, no, it wasn't magical. It was
Okay.
But what metal are you talking about?
It's mithril.
the mithril helmet.
Oh, I mean, if you're not going to, that's the helmet. You want to reverse it into that tech somehow? Look at that side of it?
Maybe, but
If you just want to use that for material, of course.
yeah, I'm just. It's a possibility.
Because mithril chain would be way
But
better.
you're missing currently for this
But
to even
yes.
work. You're missing chain. You're missing a dagger. Now there is an arm blade, so you could probably use that blade and repurpose it into a smaller dagger-like thing.
I want a chain dagger. What do I need to do? Chain and a dagger.
I mean, right?
Yes, yes. Well,
But it's also about setting up the arm to be able to do this.
yes, that's what is what I think is taking the time is changing what is actually literally physically within Tower's arm to make it so it's easily able to manipulate the chain.
But also like the device itself, because it's made to just like protrude a blade
Yes.
out from a place. So like it's that, but which I think a Warforged can just do. But you're trying to change this piece to do a totally different thing.
Yes.
Yeah, from mere extendo blade to get over here.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, like
So it's-
cranking back.
Yeah.
It's
so
going to take at
some
least
time.
32 hours
Yes.
Yeah.
to
but-
try and
And we'll
tinker
need
your
the
way
extra stuff.
around. And I think tinkering tools might be fine because it's not like you're not forging anything.
Sure.
You're trying to repurpose it.
And
But you're
then-
going to have to make those rolls after those.
Oh, yeah,
that
definitely.
those works.
Yeah. When how many rolls are going to be necessary? Just the one
I mean,
at the end.
each night that you do it,
Oh.
we'll
yeah.
do a roll for it.
So I think that's
And
one
that
roll
might
and
add, that could possibly add hours on.
Sure. Sure.
Maybe it will take hours away. I don't know.
Get you.
I'm just saying, like, is your time spent with the crafting of this thing a success or not? That's what I'm saying.
What is that?
So, tinkering tools to run
And, okay.
up.
Definitely feels like things go smoothly, and in the 4 hours you spend with this item, you feel like you've made appropriate progress towards it.
Very much.
So if you spent 4 hours, you can definitely subtract 4 hours from the number I told you.
I got it.
Great.
Okay.
Now let us know now.
Yeah.
Stare at the fire.
Well,
Any other-
Not the fire. No,
Yes,
not
not
the
the
fire.
After 4 hours being intimate, now we just stare.
back to back.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sounds about right.
Any other nighttime bits, nighttime activities taking place during this time? I assume you've eaten something. What are you eating? What have you eaten? Are you eating some of the food that you have set aside? Are you trying to actually get food at this point? Lamenting that you don't have like tons of moose carafe meat at your disposal?
How much food are we supposed to be eating per day?
Well, generally, Tower has it taken care of.
That's right. Yeah.
Like,
you
so,
insert-
like, there's not really a cost to us being out here as far as so far at Tower being able to take care of.
Yeah, that's not really what I'm saying.
Right. If there's anything other that you guys are looking to eat, if you guys want to eat some of this jerky that we have from the owl bear, like that kind of stuff.
I'm not. Yeah, it's not so much of like, what are you guys eating? Because we gotta tally it down. I'm just saying like, are you
Flavor-wise.
going out and foraging
Sure.
for the day for the evening meal?
And I would.
Are you convincing Silas to go hunt something? Are you like eating some of the reserve that you have here for whatever else?
In fact,
That's all.
Silas, I'm about to go out to forage. You mentioned you like to hunt. We can do a small game hunt out here. My wife's on that.
I love to have one.
Sounds like you two got it.
I just seem to be into it. If you're not into it, that's we got it.
I'm into surviving and
We
eating.
got that taken care of.
Sounds great.
And
Never said I liked hunting.
I thought he did. I thought he said, I'm always into a good shot hunting or whatever. I never turned down. That's what I thought.
I don't think I said that, but if I did,
Check the tape!
I believe you.
I got
As
that
Flint walks
implication
by
too,
with a
for
face
what it's
full
worth.
of jerky.
Perhaps it was just the good meat. that we
Sure.
were
It was
thinking.
more the survival that made the
Mm.
enthusiasm appear.
Out here, I would say, with your abilities in mind, can definitely get stuff. There's no need to roll to get stuff, but you are able to find some what looks to be like edible plant life, like some sort of berries that don't seem to your knowledge poison. I mean, they're not. They're edible.
Sure.
It's your ability, so don't let my flavor be confusing.
I understand.
That's like out loud to myself. There's that, and like even like maybe a pretty decent sized lizard-like animal, iguana-esque. Looks like it'd go a little thin, but you could probably it'll serve the 5 people.
I
That
believe in the morning I will start reading that book on medicine I bought a while back. Forgot I had that.
Oh. You know when I got about altering it.
Well, I took a good look tonight.
Yeah, this was like a beginning, like
manuals.
seeing what we're working with.
Who needs manuals?
Don't need manuals.
Right, I'm getting my. This is my brainstorm.
Right.
What's this IKEA piece of paper? I don't need it. Oh man, I was about to just lay into some like hardcore truth jokes about people we know, and I'm not gonna know. But that's exactly what came to mind. Like the furniture and IKEA, and it just like.
Oh
I was
yeah,
gonna
okay.
say-
Yeah.
Oh.
Anyways,
Took me
uh,
I'm gonna spend some time going through my good books. That's
sure.
been a
And
minute since I was pious.
Silas is just hat over the face, leaning on his bedroll. His horse is quietly clip-clopping in its place over where it is, nearby. And in the distance of these lands, you do see the sounds, you do hear, not see, you do hear the sounds of life. Some dog-like creatures making calls out in the wilderness. The sound of something dying painfully, but night will go by unaccosted. Morning we'll find fully rested, ready for a set journeys.
Tower will go ahead and gather up foods again if that's still necessary, unless there's enough leftovers from last night. For her body, a little petting of her saddle.
Cool.
It's ready to go when everybody else is ready.
Sweet deal.
Don't mind me.
Back on the trail.
Road.
Yeah. And Tower will be reading. Unless for any time Rosala wants to spend playing. Tower's definitely going to be open to that. Wrestling about back there.
Sure. Like a good hour, maybe a little more into this journey, you do finally come to the canyon wall, as well, what I'm calling, of this direction that you're traveling. You can see at this point that there is like a ravine in the middle of it. It is literally a canyon. You could go through. It's probably a good 15 to
Oh, we're at the bottom, not at the top.
No, yeah, you're on the bottom. This is you're a good 15. It's a good 15 to 25 feet across, maybe somewhere in that range, kind of winding through, and you can't see like all the way to the end of it. It seems to like break in a different direction. It's standing probably a good 180 feet tall. You are at the bottom level of the sea.
Does anybody know of any creatures that might be looking to ambush folk?
Maybe.
Well, I've had some luck with nature checks.
I mean, there's a whole mess of creatures on this lake. Kill box is a kill box.
I eat the shield. Eyes open.
Do
Can
you
I
want to
tell-
make a nature check?
I will make that nature check.
4.
Botch. Don't worry.
Doesn't matter.
Can we tell if there'd be a way around it?
Imagine snakes.
I mean, yes, but it looks like it's very much like off in the perpendicular direction of where you're traveling.
giant fuck off birds. Dare ask.
Well, it seems it's this or a rather long detour.
And I heard about someone once that took a tour. Not well.
Well, I think that means we should continue on. Detour's back.
Cool. It is darker in this ravine as you make your way into it. The sun is being blocked from various sides. Pretty quiet here as well. The only sounds coming through are the wind that occasionally wraps its way through against this canyon wall, and just the occasional sound of earth and stone just dislodging and trickling down the side from somewhere and echoing through. Are you going through here normally, cautiously, reckless abandon?
Any reason to stealth if there's nowhere to hide?
Yeah, are there any like trees or anything down here? Is it the
Overhang.
terrain
Probably
different?
the most sparse
Or boulders?
bits of just like one weird, awkwardly growing, like tree-like thing that's hanging out. There are definitely areas that are like bored out naturally or otherwise. Hard to truly say, as is normal for a canyon.
Is there any water down here still?
Not really, but taking a look at this area and what this is, this probably had water at some point.
Probably flash flood.
Oh yeah, where's the storm?
On the other side.
I would like to make the cart move with caution in the sense that I don't want to be hitting anything that's going to break a damn wagon tongue while we're in.
That's fair. As I said, you are hearing stuff like that. Not so much like heavy ass rocks, but just, if you pick up a little handful of gravel and sprinkle it, that noise that happens, that's happening. And to answer your question about it's not like sheer cliff. It has variation in like ledge parts and slopes and
Right.
yes,
Rock slides.
absolutely. Yeah, you're literally hearing rock slides periodically happen.
I hear sounds of people dying as rocks fall.
But sure. So I guess I just want, for clarification's sake,
Cautiously, I think.
were you choosing to try and stealth through this and not make noise or something, or you just want to take it slow and keep an eye out for falling rocks? checks.
I'm definitely doing the latter unless other people want to do the former.
Call it that. That was nothing. That's not a dig against you. That was just
I
me and
wouldn't
my
say
stupid
I
self.
want to take it slow, but I understand the need for caution. So I feel like maybe those of us who are more mobile than the cart our shadow more if we can, like when there's like bored out areas.
Are we
or,
keeping
like,
this formation too? Sorry, I just want to make sure.
That leaves the cart wide open for attack.
Well, it's not. How wide is this canyon
It's
opening?
yeah. It was about some like any given moment. It can be somewhere between like 15 to 25 feet wide.
Yeah. So I mean, we're not far anyway.
I can pretty easily keep pace with the cart from outside the cart and stick to shadow. That way we'll make a
But not
I can do that.
any other opinions about what would be helpful.
Are there shadows? You said they're only in trees every so
I feel
often.
like I just want to periodically open this up just to like throw you, freak you out. What is he grabbing? Is he grabbing something? And I'm just gonna flip through pages. It's like the new when the DM just rolls a d20
Just-
periodically while you're
I'm
playing.
just browsing. Don't
Yeah,
worry.
just-
about it.
Or are you saying more like closer to the sides of the cliff so the
Yeah.
shadows there? Gotcha. I was thinking like trees.
Okay, sorry.
I found Cassie's favorite mini too. It's like a little corgi.
Oh, cute.
Cool. So we're just chilling by this. But are we keeping this formation?
No, well, I'm off the
Right.
cart and walking alongside it, but I think apart from that, yeah.
Apart from yeah, you can be wherever you want. but
Yeah,
just-
the cart sets the pace.
Then will Aranoa please make what is your passive percentage? Start there. Then I'll decide if you have to roll.
Work.
Go ahead.
Oh.
Okay. Keeping an eye about, and as you know, you're sort of leading up the back end of this traveling, I'd say, like from my view at least, kind of reading over the area, you start to realize that Silas's horse, you're not hearing the noise as you're watching its hooves hit the ground, and you're not, whereas there is clear track marks from the wagon and the horses that are carrying it, and Shraw's horse, there seems to be no hoof prints behind this.
But we were hearing it earlier.
Flip-flopping along.
Were we?
That's what you specifically said when we were at camp that we heard.
Oh,
the
that
horse.
was just flavor text
Yes,
of
it
its
was.
movements.
Okay,
It was
but
just flavor
since
text,
this is
but-
a thing, I was like,
Yeah,
you
I
did
understand.
say the horse.
I understand that, and so my mistake for confusing you, but
Sure.
yeah, no, that was me just saying it was
I
like
didn't
the
know
movements
if
of it.
that was on purpose and it was like a new thing that just started happening. So the horses,
Well,
if we were to think back,
it is a
maybe.
new thing that's just started happening because you had no reason to ever listen to his horse before. So
And so Silas is like 10 feet ahead of me.
sure, yeah. Wow, I tricked myself with this whole flip around.
Flip it around, I flip it around.
I am gonna.
Sounded like the saddest werewolf.
Oh,
Because I am one of. That's how I've seen it. I feel that they're werewolves. How do you know so much about werewolves? Because I am one.
What's up? Is something happening?
She's
I didn't want to
Sorry.
interrupt it. No, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, sorry. I just feel like.
I just didn't know if we were waiting on me to say something next, but I
No,
thought
no,
someone
no.
was trying to do something, so that's why I was just being patient. But I guess I got impatient, so I'm sorry.
No, I just can't make a decision. Hey, Silas.
Yeah.
Oh, that was Lou?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the way.
Oh.
He bashed his dome.
Yeah, he just went full. I watched this fail video of this girl that gets on a table, she starts twerking, and she like goes to do like a hair toss. But there's these big like orb lights hanging from
no.
above the table she's on, and her head just goes straight into this glass orb and shatters it. She's like, oh my god, this is so perfect.
Hey, boy.
It's hard being a thought, you know? Sorry, go ahead.
Hey, Silas.
Yeah.
Tell me why I can't hear your horse's hoofs.
Because he ain't making any sound.
Why?
I don't know. It's just, some people are born that way, I guess. I don't know.
Hey, Shra.
Yeah.
You ever hear of a horse with no
Names?
a horse with no sound to his his hooves?
Lou, knock it off.
Can I make a...
Sure. What? Can you make it what?
Have I heard of one? Or nature?
Oh, either of those sound cool for different reasons.
Yes, let me... Before I decide, let me see. Nature. Nature. Does that occur in nature?
Once knew a smith who tried to make horseshoes of
13.
elvenkind, but didn't turn out.
Can I also make a nature check for my own knowledge of what I may have come across?
Yeah.
19.
You know, the more you think about it, you remember recognizing his horse specifically,
Who? Erno.
Erno, as a special horse that is, what's the term? Favored among like elven people. And the name of that horse type was a Valinar steed. And sometimes, I mean, it's not specifically, not all Valinor steeds, but they all seem to like have unique traits in some ways. Sometimes, you know, they manifest in different ways. Maybe this one's manifestation is that it does not leave tracks or make a sound.
Sometimes a hover horse just huffs.
So your horse is just that bad.
It's not hovering. It is definitely making impact with the ground.
Well, fuck.
I'm just picturing a horse hovering, like not moving its legs at all.
It's just a bad unity.
The hooves are touching the earth, but when the hoof gets picked up, there's no clop and there's no
Clip.
clip.
A horse of elven kind.
Essentially.
I also make
Wow.
no sound or footprints.
That's what you notice there. And it's about that time where you're listening for that noise that your own horse crunches on something hard on under its feet. And even the wagon kind of gets jostled a little bit as the terrain in front of you thickens. And looking over the side, you start to see discarded carcasses of some kind.
Oh
What kind though? Oh no.
no. Nature check!
Yes,
I
please.
think we might have run into a bad neighborhood. Check,
Are they
please.
Are you
humanoid?
stopping
Are
to
they-
check?
Just in
No, just,
passing,
yeah,
as we
looking
continue
around.
along, I just want to.
Anything
See
in
what I see.
particular?
In passing, it's hard to like make out specifically in that scenario like what they are, but they don't appear to be humanoid that you can tell. At least not the one
How
just
many?
Like that. The one that got crunched, and then ahead you see two more.
Oh,
and then
okay.
ahead of that there's another one.
When you said that, I was picturing the entire
A bone pit?
ground. Yeah.
No. No.
Just keep it
Well, you said the terrain thickened.
Well,
so
there are now obstacles in your path.
Should I scout on ahead to see if I see anything?
That's not a bad idea.
That's when I ride bird body. Just wait here.
Full blown reckless
No, we're
abandon.
not gonna wait here.
What?
We're not gonna wait. We're just gonna keep moving, but you're gonna move faster.
I ain't stopping here.
Yeah.
Wait here in the bone pit. I love it. It's not a bone pit.
Oh, it's about to be.
There are
Bone
just
pit.
One
a
way or
spattering
another.
of carcass of various degrees of decease.
A smattering or a splattering? Yes.
Nothing looks fresh where you are.
That's good.
I didn't ask how fresh it is. I said, get me the fuck out.
But I wouldn't say like full on reckless abandon. But yeah, I'm gonna go on ahead.
I guess what I'm asking you without like explicitly asking you is, are you going to stealth through this? Are you stealthing ahead, or are you just running ahead?
I'm stealthing ahead.
Please make a stealth check.
I will do this thing. I don't know why I did there. I don't know what I rolled. Just rolling normal. Just doing the 20.
Out of
total.
curiosity, if you're a rogue who's taking a dash and hide action in the same turn, is it Naruto running?
Good
I've
question.
never really thought about this before. Dumb thoughts that keep me awake at night.
Cool. So you kind of race on ahead. You do end up passing by a few more carcasses as you kind of wind a little. It's obviously not a perfectly straight passageway. It does feel like this was made over time by water, and it kind of winds a little bit. But as you do start to get around a corner, I would say make a perception check.
I will do this. 27.
Yeah. You're kind of looking around to see what's going on, and then there's just a shelf up on your right. We'll call it a shelf, but you know what I mean, right? That you kind of glance up to just as you see this, like, tail-like thing, kind of do one of these, if you will. The back end of it, I would describe as... One moment, I figure out how to fully describe. What?
Big.
That's the question. It looks almost feline in the way that it flicks, and the end that kind of catches the sunlight that's kind of cresting over into the ravine that you're in looks barbed.
Okay. Is there anything else that I'm seeing that's odd about what this looks like?
Please clarify that question.
Any other properties of the tail that may make it look even more different than what you're saying?
Scaly, furry.
There's
like-
those magical properties as well. Does it appear to be next to itself in some way?
Oh, no. It does look to be mostly, like I said, it's feline, it's furry, it's like it almost has a very close hue to the color of the canyon itself.
Okay, I was picturing a black thing.
I understand.
Okay.
That's why I'm like, no.
Yep, okay.
And the end is barbed in a way like almost like, I don't know if I'd call it, it's like a pine cone at the end of this thing that has like long, not tendrils, spine-like protrusions coming off of it.
Would this be something
It
that
looks barbed
Sure.
almost.
Would this be something that would be recognizable by somebody around here? Or is it something that is from way off?
I don't think so.
Okay. I will, once I see it, and I assume it's kind of moving, not towards me, right? It's up on the shelf.
Did we get a
Kind of right
size?
now.
You got a tail, so the tail of it, you're like trying to gauge it. It's like, it's not too much bigger than a horse in
Oh.
size. You had to like,
Based on the
I don't know
Yeah,
why
yeah.
I pictured something really big.
I report back my findings once what I notice that it's out of the way now. Go from back to tell them that there is a creature there. It has the tail like this, and it looks kind of like this. It was up there, and it looks like it's probably going to ambush us at some point. Felines are the ambush creature. Felines at some point.
and I didn't give you a distance of how far away that was
Sure.
from here to there. And if you guys didn't stay, you kept traveling.
We kept going, but
So, but it was probably a good 50 feet from where you are.
Right
From
around,
where they are now, it's probably about 50 feet from there that you saw this.
just around the riverbed.
Just around.
does it seem like something we could sneak past, or do you think we
With
should
that
park
cart?
the cart and horses and go handle this without them getting hurt?
I do not believe that in our current situation we have the capability of sneaking all of us past this creature on the path we are currently on.
I would also say that you wouldn't necessarily be able to gauge based on the interaction that just happened if it's aware of you or not. Like it's literally just like the ridge, and you saw that the tail come and go.
I am making a
Could be asleep.
Maybe it could be asleep. I figured it's probably up there proud.
Like that shelf is high enough. It's probably, I said this whole thing's like 180 feet. This thing's probably like 75 feet above on the wall, inside wall. So your view is like looking up at this being the level of the platform that it's on, and just seeing that tail crest over. I hope that's clear. Just trying to make sure that makes any sort of sense.
If we're going to get past it, I believe we are going to need to find, and I'd rather not put the horse cart in dangerous out.
Alright, park them in the bend before the other bend, and then.
Let's-
Bow and arrow.
Of course, if we
Well, they're
move forward
bow
without the cart, that does leave the horses as a much juicier odd for attacking if it is watching us this whole time.
Should we leave one or two people in front of the cart?
I'll stay behind cart and whatnot. I am the most mobile of us, and if I hear noises coming from up ahead, I assume you'll shout if you see this thing or if it's coming to danger.
Well, Silas, are you gonna come and help us out, or are you gonna stay back like you did last time?
Well, I defer to you. I understand you don't trust me, so I prefer to be wherever you trust me to be.
So I was just gonna say, if he wasn't gonna come and help again, maybe he would be the one to stay back. But
I understand you won't. You leave your precious belongings here. I'll make sure nothing happens to them.
well, that doesn't sound good either.
Yeah, that was alright. My thoughts too.
Perhaps he should stay with you guys.
Right, but I don't think you should be left here alone.
Oh, I'll be
All the
fine.
horses.
I'll give a shout if it comes to attack over here.
We'll see it going.
And
But there could be something else that we don't see.
that's true. I don't know. The other option is if we all stick together with the cart and horses and everything.
Well, I was already gonna stay on my horse because my horse is better trained for that.
Sure.
So then maybe you should stay here, so that way if something were to go south, you could
Oh yeah, I guess I can
help
on the horse.
help handle all the other horses too.
That's fine.
So you three go on ahead and get attacked.
I mean, I would prep something to try and attack it first.
Of course.
But assuming we do hear you getting attacked, our plan is to leave the horses behind alone and help you out with that fight. I'm not going to move this cart while
No,
you guys
but
are fighting.
I don't think we should leave it unattended either.
Okay, so if I hear you guys getting attacked, I'm to do nothing at all.
We'll call you if it gets to the point where we need you, I think.
Okay.
Wait, am I not? Wait, I'm staying behind too.
Yeah,
Oh, and we're both not supposed to do anything.
until we get called.
Well,
like-
I don't know. I guess if Straw's staying, then yeah, maybe.
Sorry, what was I doing again?
But I mean, 3 people taking on supposedly one cat-like creature. Hopefully, would be okay. But
I don't
no.
think this is a kitty cat, you know.
Well, no. But
How
again,
big
we
was
could
it
call
again?
you if it gets to the point where we say no. We
Big
do
cat.
need
Big
another
cat.
person.
Size of a
Big
horse.
ass
Shut
If
up,
it
cat.
goes both ways, we
No
can
bigger
call
than
you
a
just
horse.
Like you could scream for us.
Right.
Was the answer.
But what I
Sub-horse.
You'd be a dash
Sub-horse
away.
shadow cat.
what I'm saying is, I think we are confusing what the actual plan is. If you do make a call, if you're calling, we're coming,
Well, yeah,
and we're not bringing the horses. Well, Traw's bringing their horse,
sure.
but I'm not bringing these horses.
Right, but don't just come right away.
so
Like,
if you
no,
call, do not
don't
come.
come right away unless we call. Like, of course you're gonna hear us getting attacked, but we're gonna be attacking it back.
So okay.
You gotta wait for the call because otherwise they'll come too soon and leave these horses unattended. Who knows what else is around here?
All right, I'll stay here until you guys fight until you think you're in danger.
I hope this looks somewhat like I described. I wrote a little
Yeah.
75 feet here to know that
Don't
this
assume
shelf,
you are not in
75
danger
feet
as
up,
well.
but this is the ground space of the canyon.
And we're coming.
You're coming from over here.
So just to clarify, the safety
So,
word is
these
in
wouldn't
fact,
be here.
oh fuck, tower, get your ass over here, we're dying.
Sounds about right.
Yes. Oh, no.
Yeah, I would say if you're not going to bring your horse, then it can go over here.
Gotcha.
And if you're going on foot,
That's those.
Oh, plus I'm bringing Steel Defender with me too. I don't know.
yeah, you need a token for Steel Defender.
I do.
What?
We technically need one for Ursalad, but we don't really need one for
Yes,
Ursalad.
we do.
It's not.
Is she in this fight?
No, Ursalad's not going to be in the
I mean, I have an
No,
owlbear
not right
token
this
in here.
moment, but
Ursalad's
but
not going to
just
be
don't
in
have a baby
Ursula
one.
needs representation.
There's a few pages of. I mean, if you want to use an animal token, there's a few pages of animals
I
in
would.
there. You don't have to. There's other.
You should get onto
Yes.
Tinkercad and
Oh, I was gonna say.
design your own Steel
Hero
Defender.
Forge or whatever.
What's that?
It's a 3D design program.
Oh, okay.
So at that point,
Oh,
if you
the
wanted
3D
to,
print.
she could 3D print it, or she could just like take a 2D shot of this.
Mhm. Yeah, we get it.
Master agrees.
Okay.
Do it!
So,
Yeah.
are the people on foot making stealth checks? That's my next question. I need to actually
Every
pull up
night.
a fucking
Every
character sheet
night
for
in the middle of
Silas.
the night.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Dude, I'll throw one for shits and grins.
Sorry, what was the question?
Are you guys stealthing
Oh yeah,
on foot now?
absolutely. Oh,
Aren't you guys meaning to get caught?
well, yeah, but we can get up there
Erica
close
has
and.
very strong opinions on this fight.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
People are just not being cautious enough. I feel. What can I say? I don't want people to get hurt. But
Four.
oh yikes!
Well, I'm a
Nine.
paladin and I expect that.
I just figured if we get up there and get a surprise gun, that'd be nice. Why not try stuff?
Wait, is this a set that has disadvantage?
What are you wearing?
Chainmail. Chain.
Chain mail.
Yeah, this is the medium armor, so
Well, I want to say no,
it's
but
like a 50-50
will you check
chance
that?
I'm wearing something that
you'll be able to get to it faster than I
has
will.
disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
Yeah.
Yes. Disadvantage.
Okay.
In that case, it's 4.
Shame on me for not having every armor memorized.
Right.
Especially chain armor, which Or chainmail, which I feel like never gets used.
Yeah, if it's not like one of the top of the 3 categories, or whatever.
Or super.
The best of the
one
best
that I
of the
want has
best.
a spider on the back of it.
Okay, I've got Silas's
Make it look like
character
a
sheet,
panda.
so I'm technically ready.
We have pandas. We must use this technology.
Pandarian.
I hate that I keep like wanting to give you guys fun NPCs to have, then end up accidentally making myself some kind of like having to run a character too as the DM, which I hate. But like, how else do you make cool NPCs for players?
Unless they only need him for like one-off scenes. You want to have an NPC that's with the party for a while. It's a different feel.
I mean, now that you've said City Slickers, like, yeah,
Yes.
that's what's happening, and that's what I wanted to happen, even on at least on a subconscious level.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But that means I have to
They're
fucking
different.
Run
get
curly.
in the mix.
Yes, you have to be curly for a while. Yes.
Yeah. Anyways, we're good. So, y'all stealthing. Stealthing?
Y'all be stealthy.
I said stealthing. I don't know what that is.
Stealth?
I guess Silas should roll stealth.
Brian has confirmed that he does not want to watch a terrible version of No Way Home.
That makes perfect sense.
It does. It's really bad. People are standing up. There's advertisements, not just like on screen the whole time for different like slot casino websites, but literal like in the middle of the stupid cam, it will cut to a guy there like doing stuff with a blender and like websites. You want slots? We're putting it in the blender. You want games? Putting them in the blender. Go to slotcasino.com. And there's no voice though. It's just the words on screen. And he's silent as well. And then it cuts back to the cam footage.
Wow.
And it's like a professional.
Did you watch the
like,
whole thing?
Yeah. I had it on the background at work, so I was like, I'm just listening to the movie and I watched the movie.
Good grief. Okay, I see what's going on here.
Sounds awful.
Yeah, for a
Yeah.
first-time experience, yes. For whatever, free, just rewatch purposes for myself, it was fun.
I was trying to like roll a roll on here, and then it just rolled it like 170 times. So he made his stealth. Or he actually rolled high, so they're fine.
Cool.
Okay, and you had a 4. You had a what now?
I'm staying back.
Oh, you're staying back.
It's just the three of
Aranoa
them.
rolled, right? What'd you get
9.
first?
Right? That's what was.
Yes, that is what was discussed. And if we hear a fight, we're not supposed to get involved
Nope.
unless we're asked.
By name.
Yes. You're gonna call us one at a time. Just
Okay.
straw.
You wrap this corner that Tower was telling you about. You can now see this tall shelf, as we're calling it. That's all you see currently.
Pause. Sorry.
Yep.
I hate to have to say this, but can we make sure we put the toilet seat down? Lester has recently gotten interested in the toilet and left a trail of toilet water leading out of the bathroom.
God.
A disgusting trash cat, and I'm
Disgusting
sorry
trash
for
cat.
him that he has to provide limitations on our household. But please put the toilet
I mean-
seat down.
Why don't we just put the toilet seat down?
It
What a
doesn't matter.
gross
Yeah,
trash
yeah, disgusting. Disgusting old man. Louie, get off of the couch! These animals are out of control.
They are driving us insane.
No, they're not.
Okay, well that's what happened. You've come around this corner, and that's what it looks like.
It's the leaving a trail though.
Yeah.
I know. Like, it was all, like, it was on the seat, but only in the front, like, and 2 streaks of water, and then there was just footprints leading away from. He's so gross.
So he was like
Yeah.
in it. Like,
Yes.
Like
He literally was.
Yeah,
in-
the other day.
by
he
the
was like,
bathroom,
yes.
he lifted up the toilet seat, and Lester got very interested, like stood up and started trying to climb in, and since then has been trying to get into it. So
And he'll like walk onto this, like he sometimes will perch on the edge of the water
Yeah.
bowl for the dog, but sometimes he'll just walk right into the water, drink it while he's in it, go over to his fountain, stand in that, let
then
the
go
water
into
pour
the
on
litter
him,
box and get littered like
on his paws,
on his paws.
to make paw mitts of litter
Aw.
mitts.
Upsetting.
He's gross.
Very
He's a
gross.
gross
So I'm
fucking cat.
sorry.
Very trash.
We
Very trash cat. Yeah.
Okay.
great.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry for the
No, it's fine.
derail.
Trash can. I make garbage.
It's totally fine. But yeah, you come around the corner. Seems pretty desolate, I guess.
How? Sorry, I know you probably said this.
I wrote
Does
it
say
down.
35 feet.
It's a 75.
75 feet. Okay. Should we?
Alright. Shield out. Making perceptions.
Yeah.
Find the cat.
Perception as well. Just look.
So, with advantage, that's going to come out to a whopping 12.
What did you roll? 5. It doesn't seem like there's any way to, like, looking up there, you're not visually seeing anything that's reading cat. It all looks earth and rock. A 12. Not hearing much up there, I'm afraid.
Through the powers of dwarven stone cutting, can I tell the difference between a cat and a rock?
I mean, looking at this stone, it all looks like stone and
We're
rock.
gonna die here.
Oh no. You might want to remove the trash cat from your jacket because he probably has toilet water feet.
I'm sorry about that.
Yes,
I did not
I'm
notice
sorry.
that trash.
Oh, that's fine. This is meant to be rained on.
Oh, it's a different type of rain.
Trash can.
There's worse rain than toilet water.
Yeah, definitely.
Acid.
Ass rain.
Purple rain.
That's probably the worst rain you can get.
Acid.
Rain.
Ass rain is the worst rain, I think.
And bad rain.
Chocolate rain. Some say dry, others feel the pain.
Yeah. It looks like rock to you. It's like rock to me too.
Dwayne Rock Jones?
You sure there was a cat out here?
Did you try shouting that back?
Well, I sure as fuck ain't stealthing.
Are you saying that through the camera?
Nah, fucking not.
Okay.
I, even though we're waiting on a call, I also want to keep an eye out on the surroundings just to make sure nothing's coming up on us.
Absolutely. We need to stay sentinel just in case.
See a little bird go across.
Shoot off a firebolt up there. Shoot off an arrow either.
Oh, you're right.
Shoot off both.
You guys have it around.
Yeah, that's
That
what I'm
we
saying.
know about.
But I don't want to draw the attention of everything in this game. I'm much more precise.
I didn't
Dexterity check
necessarily
at
mean
75
add it.
feet
I
above
meant to distract.
Seven.
To give you attention, but
You
not
watch
where
it
you
go
are.
15 feet in the air and impact against the side of the wall. And you can hear it kind of go.
Perception check. Does anything come out?
Oh, okay, I thought you were firing off a shot. That's why I was
No.
waiting, because I was like, well,
just getting ready. Just getting ready.
you do start to hear rustling above you, and you watch as two bigger paws begin to creep over the edge of this shelf area, like in view, and something begins to like grip and come closer to the edge.
I want to let off a shot head.
Okay.
Oh,
It's pause, right?
let's go.
No, I hear you. It's just
Let's
you're very hasty.
do it.
Aaron knows a very hasty character is all. You're
The
throwing
first-
Science.
crystals back to people that are in charge of militaries without them asking questions first.
I forgot about that.
Yes.
Arrows before this creature's even intelligent or not, or friendly, or sees you.
Easier to ask forgiveness than permission.
The first thing you see
I'm here
after
to
the
do a
pause
job.
are a bunch of like tendril spine-like pieces that are coming into view, almost porcupine-like, as beyond that, long, thick, like reddish brown hair. And then finally this almost like humanoid-like face in the middle of what is now a mane, as this creature begins glaring in your party's direction, emanating a low growl. It looks like this. You can see leathery wings
Oh
start to
fuck,
protrude
that's
behind
not what I thought it was. Oh fuck.
Can I make the roll?
Yeah.
That also has a pineapple on its tail. Okay.
I'm guessing I can't extra attack on that. Surprise.
No, you just get
Yeah,
your 1 shot. 10 will miss. I guess roll initiative. Because we're here now. Do we still have those little papers
So
over
we
here?
should probably enter ourselves in the tradition. They should be over there.
And yes, I would say roll initiative because you're able to choose or not choose to.
Are we still doing this initiative tiebreaker thing? I know we recently talked about doing turn-based different.
I don't know. I think.
Are we not using the number on roll 20?
Well, what is your answer now?
About to end.
Huh?
What was your
I think we're gonna tiebreaker for now.
answer?
Oh, this is.
Well, I think the music did it.
Gosh, I did 2 of these, don't I? Okay. And okay. All right. 25 to 20.
I'll be wrong.
Nobody. Sorry. 25 to 20. Nobody. 19 to 15.
7.
What was the number?
19 to 15.
Oh, yeah.
What was yours again? 7. 14 to 10. There, Noah. That. Give me 1 second to write this stuff down. Let's try it.
Yeah.
Where did his character sheet go? Man, it is hard to use the character sheet. Oh boy.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm trying to get Silas's character sheets fixed. So why is it like every single thing I've ever Googled in my life when I definitely clear out stuff? That's good. Because I tried opening up the character sheet as its own window, then like trying to switch back isn't working. I just need to see what his bonus to initiative is.
Right.
I have an idea, but
Do you know what his dex is? It's probably not
No.
that different.
I don't.
Unfortunately.
I can rejoin this game as DM and kind
We're gonna have to switch back and forth. Go ahead. Okay. Try not to spoil yours.
I would not try not to spoil. Want to know it all. In fact, I can probably just do this.
What if I flip the other way because all the chords are
That's
coming from there?
That makes sense. So I can pull power stuff on my phone.
Okay. Okay. That makes sense. Okay, so what was yours again, Tower?
11.
Okay, that's what I thought. Where did he go?
Yeah, if you don't have the app is.
All right, I think we're ready. Flint, you're at the top. I'll reveal it now. It's up here.
That is a lot of angry. All the way over. It's all the way over there. All the way.
Mhm.
I ain't hitting shit. Actually, 120 is the longest.
Not sure I can.
Yeah. Length
5,
times
15, 5,
a squared plus b squared equals c squared.
Yeah, no, that ain't gonna happen.
I don't think so. 100 by 75. That's a long diagonal.
Alright, so from where I currently am, I'm just gonna prepare an action to, if it gets within 120 feet, if it enters my my kill range, I'll take a shot at it. That'll be my.
So holding action for when it gets into the disadvantage range?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, once it gets within my 120 disadvantage range, I'll take a pop.
Shra, it would be your turn now.
I'm going to hold my action row if something that is trying to attack us comes.
Okay. Holding a rope. Oh, damn it. I knew it.
Can we not turn that more towards you? I think it has more range.
I mean,
I'm not going to be using it.
I just need to see how far away he can shoot. You know what? He's going to follow suit. He's going to take out his gun, aim it in that direction, and be ready as well.
That's the 120. You said, what was the far range on your pistol?
100
Crossbow.
plus 27
120.
equals 127.
Because if you took a 5-foot step forward past 100 feet, if you're weird, it's 120 feet. It is 100. If you're 100 feet from here, the distance up to it is 120. 25 as far as taking that shot. So a little
Yeah,
close.
that's math.
All right. These have a range of... The revolvers have a range of...
I
80 long.
It's actually super easy.
There's no way he can
Square
make
plus
it.
three square.
He's actually going to 5, 10, 15, 25,
Didn't ask for your hypotenuses, damn it.
He's at the ready. He ran up 30 feet,
Would Flint know?
and he's ready to...
I don't think Flint would
What
know
was it
that.
range?
The revolver
Can
is...
I nail it from here? I don't think I can nail it
The
from here.
revolver is
Not really
40/8.
Okay, yeah, the 80s.
You know how many bolts I have?
You either need a much better
not enough for
revolver
this shit.
that requires like firearm proficiency,
Sure.
or a rifle.
Sure.
We'll do it.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
That's what they're there for.
Cool. So everybody's holding so far. Tower, it's your turn. You're back at the wagon.
Tower is going to wait patiently, and there's no reason to hold right now.
Oh, you're at the wagon waiting to rope. So I don't know why I keep thinking you're here.
That'll just be my default until.
Why can't I remember to split the party? Aranoa, your turn.
I'm going off here.
Which I guess, based on what you just said, you should be able to do.
What's your short range?
Sorry, not all of it.
I've got the general store thing that I have on here. Some of that stuff, stats, like the guns or the explosives or explosives. Why did that sound so strange to me when I said it? It came out of my mouth and I was like, that sounds wrong. Explosives, yeah, that's right.
Like a thing that no longer sounds like a P noise? An explosive?
I don't know. It just sounded, that happens with words, right? Like you say them sometimes and you're like, Charles, what the hell?
You ever say a word so many times it stops sounding like
It happens to me more with varieties.
Dog.
Okay, I am going
I do not want my teacher sharing syphilis with beer.
Put at the end.
I'm gonna shoot a fireball at it. 20 forward.
I'm guessing that's within this range. That's great. Okay.
20, so maybe I need to move forward 5 rounds.
Yeah, something like that.
Well, you were at least 5 feet
According
in
to
front of Flint,
Robot
right?
now.
Well, yeah,
Okay.
the steel defender will move directly first.
Cool.
And then that is 6 fire damage.
Excellent. It is now this creature's turn. Something simultaneously happens as this creature bounds off this platform, spreading wing to fly. What sunlight is cascading through this ravine goes dark as a entity unknown to you swoops in and clutches this creature, bringing it out of the ravine entirely.
An invisible creature?
Not invisible, but like very quickly what you do end up seeing is I know that's not like I
We
guess
just
that
had a DBZ fight happen over
Yeah,
us?
that's what it was very DBZ. It's like, oh, a shadow came in and took it away.
I was gonna say,
But,
if you
like-
go
So
dark
Frieza
really quickly,
teleports
you might not
in
see
briefly,
things.
eats
Something-
a manticore, and says, "Sup, fuckers."
you did see this time like what you could see in that moment because it was very quick as this thing comes through. You see fur and scale and hoof as something just swoops in and snatches this thing out.
Since we're farther away, can we see this tree better?
You're around this bend, so no.
Yeah, but it came from up in the air, right?
Yeah, sorry, it's coming from this way. Or I don't even know if you can ascertain that. The manticore is up here in the air, and something went,
Yeah,
and
I
it's
just
gone.
thought we were around it,
But I'm saying like the shape of how this is, probably not. Make a perception checks, both of
We
you.
appear
I'll
to
go
have
for it.
invaded and or switched.
12.
Was that out of everyone?
No, yeah. 20? 12.
Yeah, 12.
Cool. Flint. In that moment, actually, you guys were holding, right? Or you were holding.
Yep.
So go for it. And Silas will go for it too. You can try to shoot the creature you were just messing with before it is taken away.
Flint considers the disadvantage, the lack of sneak attack, and not wanting to fire a bolt. Nah, he'll take the shot. It's going to be 13 to hit.
That whole set miss. Yes, will hit though. Is everyone gonna see this? No, correct? Someone else got notified, right?
I would.
I'm not there too.
Oh, I've got that going. Oh shit.
No, I don't.
Well, you do see you hear discharge echo through the canyon as Silas fires his gun. Definitely impacts this creature. Does some pretty decent damage, but the creature is no longer in sight. But it is Flint's turn.
Everybody going to stay. Supposed to be in stasis.
Hit points.
The hit point still depends.
Nice. I love how he left
Almost
right as
as
it's his
many
turn.
hit points.
It's like clockwork.
Wow.
Yeah, Aeronautic has 30.
I don't
So your steel defender couldn't survive a succubus kiss either. Yeah. In the most like not murderous way.
Yeah.
Like killed you with kindness.
It's a mentor's kiss.
Yes. And that girl out there wandering.
I don't force resolutions. It's up to you.
It's
It is Flint's turn.
Alright, is it gone from side again?
The situation has not changed. You were up when that all went down.
Right. Confirm we can't see the thing that no sold the other thing.
Only for a moment. It is no longer in.
Well, I'm prepared to ship bricks, and I will prepare another attack. If it gets within the... should be 40? Oh, it's 30 for it. If it gets within 30 feet of me, I will take a proper shot at it.
Okay.
I will might as well move up to meet Aaron.
You got the movement, no problem. Like here, like here, like here.
Right side, like right.
Okay, you're right.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, so you're holding till you see it again. Draw. Just holding that rope. Anything weird? Silas is just gonna give it like a ready up another shot. Nothing else he can do. Tower,
not much.
chilling.
Yep.
Aranoa.
Firebolt.
Okay.
It's not the encounter I thought it was going to be. It's escalated quickly.
Steel defender ready to deflect any attacks that come.
Escalated how?
Make perception checks again. The area above you goes dark dexterity saves, please.
Above us, too.
No, them, but
Field defender also.
8.
see nothing.
What's happening?
Anyone in this vicinity right here?
20 for me.
Nothing's just at 7.
16 for me.
You and your Seal Defender are able to tuck and roll as Flint is impacted by the corpse of a manticore.
Oh shit!
Oh.
Boom, knocking you prone. I need you to take, 13 damage.
Oh my goodness.
And now, hovering a good at the height of the canyon now, you see a creature not too unlike what you just were dealing with, only now you can see where once was the face of this humanoid lion, there's now a lion face and a goat and some kind of lizard-like dragon creature, as this creature is now flapping above you, and it looks hungry and angry.
Speaking of things that scent look like.
And as it floats there, it just lets out a
Oh, now it's personal.
anyway, no, it doesn't do
No, the psychic damage has been done.
that. That was its turn. I think dropping a corpse on you is pretty good. You do see it though, so I'll say before this thing hits you, you can try and take your shot off. Like, it came into view and then dropped this, so technically you did see it before that dropped. You can try and shoot the
Did it get within 30?
No, it didn't. You're right. It's up at the height of the
Yeah,
canyon.
nah.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not gonna waste the ammo. I'm just gonna
And that
take this manticore.
canyon
in the
level
face.
is 180 feet. Can you still hit it with your firebolt?
180? No.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, Flint. It is your turn though. You are underneath the manticore corpse.
I attempt to unpin myself. Any rolls necessary, or just
This is a large creature. It's like the equivalent of getting out from under a horse. So I'll say make a strength check.
just strength? Don't worry, I'm not trained in anything. Doesn't
Okay.
matter.
Yeah. I mean,
7.
you're still under it. You're still prone under it. You are not unable to act necessarily though. It's more of like your lower half is pinned beneath this creature.
I imagine it's not currently feasible to make a dodge action.
Probably not. I'm gonna call it, I guess maybe like, so not necessarily restrained, but you are like grappled. I don't know. The equivalent of being grappled, but not necessarily.
Gotta be something.
This is not one.
I'm sure
I'm probably supposed to restrain you.
Yeah,
Probably a restraint.
You're supposed to pick one of those, strained or incapacitated. Probably not.
It's more fun to me though if you're like just stuck, but still able to do something.
Yes.
So that's what I'm choosing. So
Yeah.
deal with it.
Yeah.
You're grappled.
Yeah.
Yes.
Alright, if I can't get out from under it now, I'm going to instead... Wait, did I blow through an action? It feels like an action.
It kind of does. It's a weird circumstance to me, but I guess so.
The best use of my bonus
Because it's
action-
literally dead weight. It's not actively holding, but
Yeah, grappled.
Alright, the best use of my bonus action is going to be I can't dodge dodge bonus action. I'm going to dash so that I can go nowhere twice as fast.
So confused at first.
And call it a turn.
okay. Oh man.
In fact, if I can't get out from under it, I'm going to lean into this and use it as cover.
Yeah, I'll give you 3/4.
I'll take.
I
You didn't get as much of a choice.
still holding. Cool. And Silas can see this creature now. Bet your ass.
We still couldn't have seen it, correct?
That was we missed our chance when
Why am I
we
rolling
Right,
physically
we
now? I
rolled
got this.
Dear Anubis, please make the best of a bad situation.
Why is it making me like? Because he has, I'll tell you, he has sharpshooter, right? So he can use that, and he's got like a minus. So it's saying like he rolled a 14 plus -3 instead of just putting it together and giving the number, which is so weird.
That's very strange.
So that shot is going to go, unfortunately, wide. You will not hit this creature. It is your turn, Tower. You are probably, both of you, Straw chose to stay there, but probably are hearing gunfire for sure, and some sort of impact from the corpse hitting Flint. Probably a cry out in pain. Sorry, I keep cutting you off, but like, all these things are happening. You guys are not too far from this. And the way that this echo chamber works, you are probably hearing commotions. All I
Tower is very
I feel like I should probably yell this out to the cart just so that they know something. Medico's dead. That's a pejorative.
Tower is very good at following rules and will remain at the cart until called up.
Great.
That is all.
I was saying that I know you said you wanted to stay there, which is perfectly fine, but you guys undoubtedly are hearing commotion here because you're not that far away and it's very echoey.
That's what we expected.
I know. I agree. I'm just making sure that you know you're not completely unaware that something's
Were
happening.
there any unusual sounds, considering.
Gunshot, yes, but Flint also just did literally call out as well, saying the Manticore was dead.
I don't know if anyone truly knows what a manticore is, but the people at the table will understand what's going on.
Spiky Cat is dead. There are 2 cats. I repeat, there are 2 cats, and one of them is a much bigger asshole.
If that is what the group at the wagon is doing, then Aaron Noah, it is your turn, as you have just dodged, not a bullet, a corpse. Ooh, I can't wait for a bullet counter where I get to say you dodged. Go ahead.
I am going to bow fire.
And I don't have anything to set them on, but they're like
Yeah,
way
it's
up here.
180 feet up. Is that, yeah, so I believe that's within range. So, okay, that's a bomb. Okay.
Then it got worse.
And then Steel Defender is I'm gonna tell Steel Defender to go over and try to push the Manticore off the Flint. Do you want this Manticore pushed off of you, or are you enjoying the cover that you're getting from this?
So I can get cover while I'm not under it.
Okay, great. And I'll have the Steel Defender try to push that.
So there's still more of it than there is of me.
I'd rather have you out here. So, bad one.
Okay.
Can I use the Force Empowered Gun to do that, or should I guess Strength check?
What's happening? I'm sorry.
I want to use Steel Defender to push the Manticore off of Flint.
Oh, okay. And what's that ability that you're asking about?
Force Empowered Gun is like what I use for its attack, but it's just it's force damage.
Oh.
Or strength.
Force eat this.
Can it act independently in that way? I feel like.
Yeah, I have to tell it what to do.
Oh, but that's one of the things you can kind of tell.
Yeah, it's a bonus action.
Okay, yeah, make a strength check like Flint was trying to do.
Oh, 21.
That will push this corpse enough off of Flint that he's currently still prone because he doesn't have the movement to change that, but you are no longer pinned.
Sweet. Dashed it
Does that conclude Arno's turn?
Yep.
Okay.
Held the dash action.
180 feet.
I wouldn't be able to hold
Wait.
a dash.
Wait,
Can't hold
I got
dash
extra
or
attack. I'm sorry.
I mean,
Can
I
I
used
do
it as a
extra
bonus
attack
action, so.
if I didn't
Yeah,
hit?
yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Extra attack. When you take the attack action, you can
Yeah.
attack twice.
So that's a 19 to hit. I'm so sorry.
With it at disadvantage,
Yeah.
that will hit.
Uh,
Nice roll.
9 damage.
9 damage.
But in normal situation, you can't hold a dash action.
No, you can't.
Okay.
You can only hold like attacks and
Okay.
stuff.
Non-movement.
Yes.
That was 9 damage?
I know you can't normally hold move, but holding a dash action isn't necessarily the same thing. But I hear what you're saying.
Or
I
like
mean,
dodge.
it would
right?
double the movement I don't get to use. So
Or hold a dodge action, I guess.
you can't
But,
hold a
yeah, I
dodge.
don't
You
know
just
why you would
dodge.
do that, exactly.
You just
Okay.
dodge.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So you do
it has
see
to be an attack.
Holding
an
a
arrow
dodge action
catch
is what
it right
Gohan
where the
does.
wing
Right.
of this leathery wing of this creature meets its back area, right in that joint area. It kind of doesn't look too perturbed yet. That concludes your turn.
Now
It will begin to swoop down about here-ish. It is now 60 feet in the air. That's what I'm looking for. Where's this thing? And it will stay there. Flint is 60 feet up. This is really weird because, of course, this is, but you get it. That's technically higher than it.
60 feet up. Massive pain in my ass. Is there anything around here that could be considered cover other than Manticore? Like further up?
I did draw a little rock that's technically on the other side of this pillar of Chimera.
Half of my movement to get up. I'm going to dash this turn as a bonus action.
I'm going to remove
So-
this Manticore corpse. We just know that there's one open.
So if I could have either 15 or 30. Actually, technically,
If you're
Yeah,
dash,
45.
yeah.
Right?
What?
45, right?
Wouldn't it
You're not
still
dou-
just take 15 feet
Yeah.
to get up, no matter whether you're dashing or regular movement?
Yeah,
Except my dwarvish ass moves 25,
25.
so
Oh.
also a consideration. I have some amount of movement. Frankly, since I don't have my full range of motion from getting up from prone, I'm just going to maintain my cover position here and take a dodge action. Just in case.
I'll put him back so we know that he's covered. Which, yeah. You're no longer under it, so it's more like half cover now.
Shield up.
I feel like I'm accidentally shutting Flint down so hard.
Oh, don't worry.
And I
Don't worry,
swear
it's
I'm not actively trying to do that.
No,
How
I
the
can.
party have chosen to shut themselves down. I think we're good here.
Look, as a paladin, I knew what was
Stand
going to
back no
happen the
matter
moment I
what.
heard wings.
Right, right.
I mean, I'm lawful neutral, so I also basically just follow directions too.
Okay, well then, if that's Flint's turn, we're back to Shra. Tower, you're on deck, followed by, Silas is in between there.
You know that.
Chillin'. Okay, if they're 60 feet up and he's here, that thing's definitely in range of Silas. Go big or go home. Let me just take a peek at this ability. Where is it?
So
It is pretty funny though that Arano was right in the sense that there was something else.
But what if
When
there's
you
something
think about
else?
it.
Don't worry, it's going to be fun. It is not fun. It is not fun.
It's true. It's very true.
Who knows what would have happened if we would have left all those horses by themselves, or even
We're over here
one
fighting a
person.
manticore and whatever while this fucking thing is snacking on our horses.
And Ursula.
Right, and it's out.
Wow. Sorry, I'm just straight up dumb when it's kind of rolling with stuff. Here we go. 26 minus 3 is 23. That will hit. That is a total of... Is this including that? He whips his gun in the direction of it again, fires. You watch as this bullet impacts in the middle area of this creature, and immediately there's an explosion of flame. This creature takes a whopping 27 damage.
Get it, Silas.
Sure.
Okay.
Was that an explosive round I just heard?
You heard an explosion.
Why is
Start seeing Tower have
it-
a PTSD flashback.
It is Tower's turn.
And it remains at the cart.
Why did he hit you with that before?
No, not that kind of PTSD. PTSD of the war.
Oh, right. That makes sense.
You
Sure.
start hearing like distant crying babies as well as part of the soundtrack.
Aww.
Just a crying toddler that's holding a half-burnt teddy bear in the middle of a battlefield of rubble.
Somewhere in the memory of a robot. And that's its action.
Okay, but it is your turn.
Yeah.
But that's your turn is
That's
the
it.
PTSD?
PTSD.
No, it's a perfectly valid turn.
Roll for trauma.
Yeah.
Ernoa, it is your turn.
I'm gonna double shot at the thing.
I don't know if this camera can see this.
Probably
Camera.
not,
Probably not.
but I'm not too worried about it.
Me either.
It's not a show, exactly.
14 for the first.
That will just hit.
10 damage.
Although I will readjust the shot when I go sit down again after getting more high on
9
weed.
for the second.
That will miss. These are all arrow shots.
Yes.
So it gets another one. It's taking some licks.
Mm.
And that was your turn, so now it's its turn. Now it is its turn.
Protect the manticore.
It is going to make its way to right about here. And is there anyone else that is 15 feet away from this? Nope. It is just Silas. He will make a dexterity save. He will fail a dexterity save. Yeah. And he will take... Oh god. Okay. 8. This is total 15. Total 19. Total 27. 28. 36. 39 damage.
Holy shit.
That
Just
was
takes a face.
a lot more damage than I expected him to take.
As more damage.
as flame billows out of the dragon-like head of this creature, and just you watch Silas just get engulfed. It's almost reminiscent of an interaction with Flint, but but that's where we are. Flint, it is your turn as you watch Silas just disappear in a cone of flame, and as the flame subsides, he's still standing there, kind of patting out his jacket.
Sweet Anubis, bless this mess. I'm going to run in with crossbow blazing. Hopefully not literally. How high is it currently?
Now it is like 10 feet off the ground.
Oh, beautiful.
It's just hovering there above people, technically.
10, 20, 30, 40. Okay. So I'm going to dash, move 25 feet up, puts me within range. And 21 to hit.
That'll hit.
Sweet.
Crossbow? Is that what you said?
Crossbow. Will not be getting sneak on this, but I will be doing 6 damage to it.
6?
And then dash my ass back behind the thing.
Shra? Chilling?
Well, yeah, what I've been doing.
Still just slowly whipping around a lasso? Okay.
In fact, Tower, feeling a little rough right now, is going to go get Ursula and just start petting Ursula.
Sure. So feeling rough, what happened to you?
The war!
PTSD, the war! I need my emotional
Comfort
support animal, thank you.
You don't get this right now. You're gonna let off another shot. That will hit for another 16 damage on this creature as he lets off another shot. I keep forgetting he has extra attack, so he'll take it now. That will hit too. Okay. So that's a total of 35 damage.
Can I see a pop really quick?
Okay. This thing has taken a lot of licks. It's actually looking pretty rough. You see blood dripping onto the ground below it after quite a few gunshots, a few arrows, a few bolts. But the rage that those of you that are close enough to see it in its eyes tells you this thing will not back down. It looks like it has no intent of leaving here or you alive.
Oh, that's a bonus action. Never mind. We're good.
Sorry if you're waiting on me. It's Tower's turn again.
Tower, it's going over to pet Ursula, mentions to Shra, that's really good rope technique you have there. It's really nice.
Erno's turn.
Okay. I'm going to firebolt.
Oh, we're just chilling and they're having like it's an awful time.
Crit.
I mean,
Woo!
you're not having
27.
such a great time.
Your total attack was 27
Yeah.
with the crit.
But I'm doing that.
Oh,
3 damage.
Okay.
Fudge and egg.
You can't help it.
And then extra attack. That's a 12.
That will unfortunately miss.
You did 3 damage on a crit.
How?
Rolling 2d10.
What?
You rolled 2 ones? Or did you not get to add? Oh, you don't get to add anything.
No.
Okay, yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I've actually seen worse. On Critical Role, I believe it was.
Sure.
Like Marisha crit and did like 2 damage because she just rolled 2. It was sad.
That's why I have in my games I have to implement the.
I know.
That roll. I know it's not right and it's overpowered, but like it just feels.
I didn't say it
wrong.
wasn't right.
Well, it's not according to the rules. I do a full damage plus a roll.
Yeah.
That just makes sense.
I get it. This entity is going to kind of clamber for a moment on the wall here before it leaps down off the wall. you know, because it was up. It kind of cat-like pounced from wall to ground. Let's see if it gets to do anything incredibly interesting again. Will the DM recharge magic take place? No. Instead, it's going to... It's in range of... Well, it will take its one step. I guess technically leaving his threat. Well, he crit.
It's going to deflect, or it's still defender is deflecting attack, so it's disadvantage.
No. Silas crit on his crit
Good,
it
good.
as
Hey, good,
on
that.
its as it left.
Deflect him.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Sweep the leg.
I mean, I see it right here. It's green.
I mean, yeah,
I
it's-
was like,
So as this
There is no mercy
creature
in this
pounced
dungeon.
off the wall and gets behind him, Silas
There is no mercy in
doesn't.
this
Silas
dungeon.
doesn't turn around. He just goes like this and fires behind him. Impacts the back of this chimera for some pretty goddamn big damage, to be honest with you. It looks incredibly wounded by that. It will come after Aranoa. They're all disadvantaged for its attacks?
Yeah.
Okay, it has 3. First attack, I just need to make sure I understand what these numbers are. 18.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me make sure I know what these do. One with it. So first is a bite. So you take 5, 15 damage as you are bit by, I guess,
Yikes.
dragon mouth.
This isn't gonna be good. There's 2 more times covered.
That is a 17.
Do we go even though she didn't say our names?
That is
I get what I asked.
7 damage as you are
Damn, what was
raked
the safe word?
by a claw. So that was 7 damage.
Maybe that
Slashing.
was Flint.
And oh, that's only a 9. So as the ram head tries to horn you, you've already been kind of like, you know, recoil from being slashed. The ram horns whiz by you. No damage. That will be its turn because that was its move to get down there. That was a reaction. Flint, it's your turn.
I pop up from the corpse again. Switch to the rapier. I'm going to try and stab the shit out of this thing. Yes. The legacy kicks in again. 13 to hit.
13 total.
I
That-
think it's 12.
Still miss.
Now I'm gonna stay here.
I don't know
I'm gonna
what
do
it
my
is
job
with
as a
that
paladin
rapier,
and
man.
Stay in front of it.
We need to get you a new rapier.
God, if I could get something made out of like devil or something, that'd be great.
Made out of devil.
Anything
So-
else Flint's gonna do there? Is he...
Let's see, I'm still adjacent to this thing. I'm going to maintain position. Now we're good.
Okay. Shra. Dum, 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 dum. They are currently
Hey, cart people,
less than
anything
50
interesting happening?
less than 50 feet away. They're probably like 35 feet around a corner from where you are.
Sorry, I just forgot.
Boom, 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 boom. Remember, move that on the T intersection because it takes up 4 squares on a horse.
It's like a microphone.
If you want bigger bases for your token, buy me more.
You only have the one?
No, I have 2, but what if you fight 2 big creatures?
Well, but right now. Can I... Wait, I can go like this. There, that'll work. I will attempt to...
Ooh, it's a tight squeeze. Looking at the walls, but you can do it.
I will attempt to rope it. Which...
This creature is large. I think you still can rope it though, right?
Oh, right. Hold on. Force element.
Definitely bigger and denser than the Manticore was, but not by too much. Man, like a creature being large, I know is like trying to be simplistic for D&D, but at the same, it's so varied when you're like trying to make a token. Because you're like, is it large long, or is it large tall, or is it just large? Is
Yeah,
it,
like your picture has to be perfect.
yeah. Is it
whatever.
10 feet tall? It's like, you know, a large creature is like 10 feet tall, but not always.
Right,
Except
right.
when it's not.
From the head, from the wings,
yeah.
from what?
On a
No
scale
more
of
than
large
one
to large,
size
how large
larger.
is this large?
Gotcha. One size.
So yeah, I can do it. Alright. Make a ranged attack.
It's against its AC, right?
Yeah. Wow, it's been so long.
I was gonna say,
don't
yeah, this is
remember.
what happens when you go a month without playing the campaign.
Unless I just hit my rope
I'm sorry
thing
for
on roll
my part of
twice.
that.
You barely had any, I think.
It ain't your fault.
There's a million things that we decided to do otherwise. So,
I'm just saying, that was a night that we should have played. That was fucked up.
We hardly count
there's a million other things that happen.
Yeah. I mean, so it's just a ranged attack with no bonus? And then he kind of just says make a ranged attack.
Well, yeah, if you have proficiency in that, you'd be
Right.
able to add
Oh, so I had
proficiency
my
and-
dexterity
Yeah,
on
Your
it.
dexterity
Yeah.
proficiency.
Yeah. You're like a
I
normal
was like,
attack.
what? I thought.
It should just be a button on your sheet, right?
It is, but you know, we're here in person.
After I got my booster, like this, my armpit hurt, you know, from like getting it, and then like over here, but now this one's hurting.
Oh, weird.
I'm like,
Mine's
what the
increasing,
fuck?
Okay, so 15.
Sometimes nodes just decide to have fun.
What was it?
15.
That will do it.
So it is grappled. And the next one, rope appears.
It feels weird that the lyrics version of this does not include sound effects.
Bang,
Yeah.
bang, 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 cash register noise.
Oh yeah, I can
Yeah,
use a
but
bonus action,
doesn't
so
acknowledge
I can
it,
try to
just-
restrain it right now.
Strictly the lyrics.
So it's a strength
It does
or
not capture the
dexterity saving
essence.
throw.
For it,
Yes.
Yeah.
it rolls a 6.
Which now I'm forgetting what that number is.
More than 6.
Oh yeah, right. So it is.
It is restrained.
It is restrained. There we go. And so at the start of its turn, it can try to make a new save.
What does restrain mean for creatures attacking it?
How come yours doesn't? Oh, it does. I've just blocked it all. It means that if you are restrained, where'd it go? It has a speed of 0. It cannot benefit from any bonus to its speed. Attack rolls against the creature have advantage, and the creature's attack rolls have disadvantage. The creature has disadvantage on dexterity saving throws as well.
Brilliant, because I'm going to put a lot of that to the test on my turn, which I believe starts right about
No.
now.
No.
No, silence.
Silas.
Oh shit.
He is going to holster his gun and light a cigarette.
Brilliant.
Tower.
So you said we're about 35 feet out, yeah?
Cocky son of a bitch.
Yeah.
You are like 35 feet around the corner. I mean, you were 50 feet from here, and now the fight is here. So,
Can I assume that my 50 feet of movement will allow me to get to here?
absolutely.
Okay, then cool. At that point, I'm going to bonus action and let Fat Bottom Girl, the arms thereof, come out. I'm going to need a dex saving throw out of this creature.
Disadvantage.
At disadvantage.
That is worse. 7.
Okay, that will allow me to then roll. Is it 2 rolls of my thing? I'm trying to remember all the things. There's a button. Why am I doing this? Abilities. Okay.
I really need condition rings now.
Condition rings.
Like they make rings that say
Ah.
like restrained, grappled, hexed.
I get you. So that's a rock and roll. So that's 2d4. No, it's actually gonna be 2d6 because my it's 2 rolls of my martial arts. Which why is this all? My martial arts should be a d6 at this level, right? Am I sure now?
Should it?
Oh
You guys
boy.
level 5?
Yeah. Okay. It's all marked as D4, so I'm going to keep it as D4 for now, and I'll go back and do it later if necessary. But this is bonus action, 2D4, force damage.
Aww.
As the arms emerge, it takes 2 force damage.
2 force damage?
Yes.
Okay.
Then follow that up with attacks from Fat Bottom Girl at advantage. So that's the first one. Gonna be 25 to hit.
That will hit.
Gonna do, I guess we are doing D4 still.
It should be D6, yeah.
Thought so. Cool, thank you. I really appreciate that. That's
Let me recon you some of that.
that's 8 damage, and I'm going to make this a shot that might take me home tonight. I'm going to need a con save, I believe, for this.
It fails.
That's going to make it stunned for the next round until my turn, essentially.
Its life is suffering now.
Yes.
Is that the end of your turn?
No, because extra attack will allow me to throw one more punch at it, which will be 21 to hit
That will hit.
for another 8 damage.
Is it time to gag a punch of silk?
Is that the end of your turn?
That is the end of my turn.
Halfway through your attack, you realize the creature is gone, and you're punching me.
Cool.
It had
Silky is already dead.
it had 3 HP by the time you went to attack it, and then you did 2 force damage, and then you just beat the living hell out of a corpse as it clearly took the 1 point of damage it needed, but it's gone.
I'm sorry. I had a lot of built up tension inside. To a fight, I realized is what's the word? And it starts fiddling with its gun. Triggering. It's a little triggering to just listen to a fight. I had to do a lot of listening before. Wow.
Oh, I mean, I made this, but never switched it out to Chimera. I just left it up as
not
maybe.
realized. Now it's a character choice.
That's a fun choice.
Fine.
Now I can choose to give you flashbacks in the middle of combat and give you disadvantage on certain things.
You see, it was my job mostly to keep lookout, and that involved a lot of hearing battle. I feel much more comfortable when I have some motive control over it.
This combat appears to be quiet. Too quiet? I don't know.
Yeah, does anybody need healing? I don't really have the ability to.
I'm gonna hand land myself real quick.
I believe we have potions. Do we have potions? Oh, I have a superior potion of healing. If anybody needs something like that.
How much is that?
It's several D4. If a rest will do us though.
I don't even should run spirit machine.
Good point. Yes, go superior. I don't have to
5 pounds of weird dog meat.
know.
We have a lot of
Accurate.
meat.
Okay, then yeah, we should be eating that meat.
9 pounds of owlbear, 90 pounds of pronghorn, 5 pounds of weird dog, 2 hooves, 1 owlbear hide, 7 owlbear
It's 8d4 plus 8 is the superior potion.
That's, I feel like that's much.
See what- Maybe just get on the cart and take a short rest there for now.
Yeah, I'll do that. But can I lob off any valuable pieces off of these creatures before?
Oh,
we
are we
run
not
away from
loading
them?
these up?
Oh, I would gladly load them up. Do we have room in the whole cart? I doubt that. That's why I was just.
They
thinking
both
for-
are in the realm of horse size. I'm not
no,
saying
no.
I'm not saying no. I'm just saying
It's-
No,
that's how big they
I'm
are.
saying no.
Yeah.
Can I do a quick check for pieces that would be valuable to me or monetarily?
It would be a real
Yes.
waste to let these waste.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you may. What did I make you roll before? Did I make you roll something?
Nature, survival.
Survival. That's what it
Oops,
is.
I might have just rolled something by accident. If I did, forgive me. I'm gonna use my knowledge from a past life and add a d6.
And what are you hoping to glean from these creatures? Like they look like this. Or what he's hoping to harvest. That's my question.
Yep. Get that pineapple mace.
Pineapple tail.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, maybe the spines from that.
Okay.
Some teeth.
Sure.
The fucking dragon head. Can I take the whole dragon head?
Maybe. We'll see.
Have that over your fireplace.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, we'll see.
I feel like the real Frankenstein me.
I mean,
But
it's a chimera, so.
yeah, it's true.
Korag would
Give me
approve.
these component pieces. Yeah.
I just can't wait for the Icarus wing set. to show up later.
But yeah, just
I'm surprised the Sphinx didn't show up.
Okay, so I want you to roll a survival check because we need to know how well you do.
Oh, we're
God,
definitely.
just a giant nightmare cat battle.
Yeah, exactly.
20.
We're definitely gonna run into a Sphinx at some point, right? It's like
Anyways,
thematically.
okay, we're good. I just had to tear up the Sphinx page
yeah,
because we can't have that.
yeah. I can't handle chicken.
10 seconds later.
I need you to roll a d10 for me, and then a
legs in the
D-
morning, 2 legs in the afternoon, and 3 at night.
and then a d8, and then a d6.
the D10 is a 9.
Sweet, you get 9 because you wanted spines, you want teeth, you want that head, and you want the wings.
Okay, I don't have the way right.
We should have brought our the other laptop over here. Like,
Oh, yeah. We can
wait,
just
why
put it in
can't
the
I?
shared
Could you
spoils
pass me
at
that
the
laptop?
End. Okay.
Just, it's gonna take a few seconds.
I'm trying not to like
Yeah,
rip cords around. So I don't know what's-
we're good.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll just use the name of the actual creatures, even though your characters don't exactly. These creatures are not necessarily named in the universe, but I guess we decide that your party has decided to deem it a manticore. You get 9 manticore spines.
You just want me to call it something?
Looks kind of mannish, and I hate it to its core.
Okay.
The man fuck this.
Next was a D8. Oh, 1.
You managed to get 1 solid tooth each off each of these creatures, so 1 chimera tooth, 1 manticore.
But does the tooth, which head does the
He
tooth?
changed it to man to or. My auto.
Well, since you're trying to intact
Yeah, I don't want
it's
to
a
put
it's
the
a
dragon.
lion fang.
Okay. Good. I don't want to go.
For both. Which one?
Thanks.
Chimera.
It was a chimera what?
Fang.
Then it changed that to Chinese. God
Oh my
damn it.
What the hell?
Chimera
Check your
fang.
settings. Yes, and then
And
manticore fang
6
as well.
was the last one.
6 manticore fangs.
And
then, god damn it changed it to gang. So it wanted it to be a Chinese gang.
Oh my
Wow.
yes. And then I'll say that because you rolled so high, because I was like, if she rolls above a 20, so you can harvest that head, you can harvest those wings and that manticore tail.
Woo. Yes.
But it will take a while to do that. So you will spend time in this ravine, probably lose some progress on your travel time. This is the nature of the beast.
Will exactly.
Well, it was a what? A what?
In the body.
Wings of what? What were the wings?
Well, they both had wings technically, but I assume you wanted the wings of the chimera, right?
Yes.
She's got it on.
No. She's already. I'm not gonna mess up what she's got going on.
Okay.
And then also like chimera dragon head and manticore barbed tail, I guess is what we'll call it.
A what dragon?
A chimera dragon head.
Sounds horrifying.
It's always changing to Chinese. That is so. What was the last thing?
Manticore barbed tail. some point during all that, I suppose Silas will finish his cigarette, putting it out, and just...
I can't attest to how it will taste.
Can it change it to man tucked?
I mean, there is meat there to harvest. We have plenty on the wagon, at least 100 pounds of meat on us already. I know you can't attest, but if you'd like to sample, it's here for you.
It don't look natural.
It does look quite strange. Although, coming from something that is strictly natural, not such a bad thing.
For the record, I wouldn't eat you either.
I forgot. I'm so sorry.
It's okay, it's fine, it's fine. We're good, we're good.
I just hit the buzzer.
Okay.
What happened?
No, it's broken, and she
I
just
know.
shut the lid, and that's literally how it's broken.
Yeah.
It could easily have just snapped in half if she was a little bit more rough. That's all. And it's an old laptop, not a big deal, but it's still like
Still a shame.
it's still very usable for certain situations.
Because this is your newer one, huh?
Yes, yep. Just like me. But you don't want to use it at all?
No. We'll record and sell. But
Oh gosh,
obnoxious.
it's not a show.
No.
But it is obnoxious and it was making it back there.
By the time I noticed that it was happening, it was gone.
Could you slide that back there? Thank you.
Cool. So that is what we're able to harvest off these creatures for now. Unless you want to try and get some meat off it too. No need
Spent
to.
enough time.
Yes. Ambushes seem very easy in this game. Expediency, perhaps, rather than stealthiness.
Yeah.
Sooner we're out of here, the better.
But still, careful with those wagon wheels. You don't want to slow down.
I'm trying.
Okay.
There's only so much canyon I can maneuver through.
That is true. And you move along.
So do I want to chip this rock with the left side of this wheel or the right side of this wheel? That's my choice. Do I just want to go straight over it? Probably don't want to go straight over
As you travel a few more hours through this place, the sun is setting into night, but looking now that this, as it's winding through, you feel like you can almost see the end of this canyon in the distance, but it has become increasingly darker in this ravine because if there is a setting sun, you're not really seeing it from this vantage.
Should we push on to get out of the canyon?
Yeah.
Seems best, yes. That storm isn't looking inviting.
I got my lantern.
Pressing on. It does take about another hour and a half to finally break out from this ravine, but you do, and there is yet another, I don't know how to really describe that, badland desert.
Arid salt flat.
Yes.
I'm 4 chapters into this thing, and the only thing it's said so far, really, is buy healing kits. It says here, any stupid idiot with a healing kit can pretty much save a life. Pretty much.
But you should really buy a healing kit from Montgomery!
Does it specify stupid idiot as opposed to...
I'm paraphrasing. Basically, it's several chapters on if you have a healing kit, this is very simple to do with no instruction whatsoever. Kind of on repeat.
Does it include information on what to replace things in the healing kit with?
Haven't got there yet.
So this poor bookie got there something.
I'm just mechanically in D&D, like,
Yeah,
if you have a healing kit, like,
Yeah.
why wouldn't a medicine book tell you to use a healing kit?
but being trained in medicine is never bad.
No, absolutely not.
I feel like I'm going to use
Means
the
you can
last
add your
of your
proficiency.
Oh, we have a bunch. We'll get more out.
Camping down outside this canyon. As you're setting up, Silas will begin to walk a small perimeter around the campfire area, making small groove pattern in the dirt around the area. And that's how he'll spend his camp setup. How the rest of you spend?
Just setting up where I'm going to be taking lunch from. Probably setting up my tools too. My tools!
Tools.
To work on power. So they're just stuck.
How's your book coming so far?
Well, I read it in the wagon for a little bit, and, you know, I don't particularly like the way that they refer to Warforged, but it does have some good information about functionality of different parts and the reasoning behind why they were made the way they were.
So perhaps more to be taken for its technicality than its cultural significance.
Exactly.
Sweet. Assuming you want to make that check, go ahead and do so.
Which check?
The Tinker time.
Oh, yeah.
But
Tinker
also
time.
do it at advantage.
What time is it?
Tinker time.
24. Goody, goody, goody. You don't have to be spending that 4 hours immediately, but the 4 hours you do spend,
Oh, I'll need to mark it on there.
fine and dandy.
Oh,
Oh,
the Tinkerer Tailor.
Probably minimized at the very least. Cool.
Does Arizona have a neighbor on the other side of the fence who dispenses wisdom on a regular basis? That would explain a lot of your, a lot of the madness in your house then.
Tool time was ahead of its time. Like, that would have been the perfect YouTube channel.
Yeah.
A guy just teaching, like, millennials, like, the basics to, like, fix up your home and stuff.
And watching horrible things happen on screen.
Can I assume I spent like 3 hours wrestling this owlbear over the past couple days?
Sure.
Training their athletics, slowly but surely, by wrestling owlbears. That's the best way to train athletics, by my count.
Sweet deal. And
Actually, Neighbor Wilson would have been the best YouTube channel. Just can't hold the camera right, only gets the top half of his face. Millions of views.
Wise words with neighbors.
I'd watch it. For at least 3 episodes.
I do not see what I'm looking for.
That's it.
Any bits before you bed down for the evening and take watches?
Nothing special.
Pretty quiet night as well. You do see a few creatures of the night, animal-esque, small game that get close to your camp, but whether it's the symbols on the ground or the light of the fire, they stay pretty much out of your business. On the tail end of your watches that you're having, they get farther so it's not the same. In the distance, kind of moving in a direction that would be crossing the way you've been going. So if you're going from northeast to southwest, this is kind of on a perpendicular path. You can see another horse-sized object, maybe. It seems rounded and moving in a pace of like... And there's a smaller object kind of trailing it, stopping periodically, and then trailing a little more, a few feet more. And it's just probably a good 400 feet off, kind of traveling that way. Very slow as well. At least the big thing that's moving is traveling pretty slow, and the little thing is like falling behind and then moving a little more, but it's hard to make out what exactly either thing is doing. It's not. It's like the wee hours of the morning, I assume, at this point. If you stopped at night and taking that 8-hour rest, this would be the early mornings, like the sun. Now that you're out from that part of the canyon, you can see it breaking over another canyon line in the distance.
I would like to. Well, I notice it, and I kind of whichever one of us sees it, I guess. Well, which one of us would see it? I'll say me.
Either, because
Yeah.
the other will know shortly after.
Sure. I'd like to get a closer look at this thing, but I don't want to disturb it. Do you mind keeping an eye out on me, and I'll try to sneak up and
Yeah.
see what I can see?
Should have
I'll draw my bow.
gotten
Right.
some binocular type devices.
That would be cool. Sorry, this just moved at some point. I want it more central. Whatever. Fuck it. And I would like to then, kind of sneak up and whatnot.
Is the cord in the way of the camera now too?
Yeah, it is. Good call. Good call. Good call. 24 for my stealth check. I'd like to keep my distance. I don't want to alert it to, me being here or whatnot. But I would like to get close enough to get a good look at what this thing is.
Neither entity seems
These things.
to give a shit. That like you do not feel like you are being noticed
Okay.
by any means.
What do I see once closer?
Once closer, let's move that campsite away just in case.
Sure.
You see this quite large creature slowly moving across.
Oh, shit.
And a little. Oh, you're coming from this way?
Oh, sure.
How are we doing this? We
Just
can do
like
that.
that,
We can
like
do that for camera purposes if the camera can see it.
Yeah, we can see all this stuff, so yeah, it's cool.
And this little guy running behind it. There seems to be a reflective substance. Without inspecting it, you have no idea that it seems to be being left by this creature. You see periodically this little guy running up and then taking the spear in his hands and stabbing at it, breaking something and like scooping it into a pouch, and he just keeps running as this thing goes. He goes with it, and they're traveling. He's just running behind it,
Okay.
harvesting whatever is being left
Yeah.
by this creature.
So majestic.
Yeah, I have no reason why I would know anything about any of this. I run back to camp and I let Aranoa know. There seems to be some kind of huge snail.
It's large size.
Large snail creature.
I mean, I understand like the fluidity of language, but I personally don't ever want to confuse someone by saying huge when the creature is actually large.
That's very fair.
The term big ass is universally acceptable, though, right?
Yes.
Big ass now.
And this strange flail-faced snail creature was leaving behind a snail trail of some kind of what must be valuable substance, because it has a smaller creature trailing behind it and collecting it as it goes. It seems to be the creature's one purpose is to trail behind this whaley snail and collect its snail trail.
From under a hat, you hear, you're talking about some kind of flail snail.
I mean, it's
I would call it, yes, a flail snail. I didn't realize you were awake. I'm sorry if we were being loud.
It's alright. I have trouble sleeping some nights.
Have you heard of such a thing, a flail snail?
Not particularly, but based on your description, flail face, snail, big ass flail snail, in my opinion.
But also some kind of, I didn't get a good look at whatever it's secreting, but secreting something that I can only assume is quite valuable, as this creature seems to be spending an inordinate amount of time trailing this thing.
So,
It tails the snail to assail its trail. It assails the trail, the flail snail trail.
No need to assail the trail of the flail snail. We only need to curtail, whatever.
So you wanna set up an ambush for this creature, steal his bounty, collect the rewards.
I don't think we need to curtail the flail snail.
I have no reason to stop, to curtail, as you say, their current activities, in my opinion. If anybody else wants to go after these valuable
Are we all
secretions
awake?
themselves.
Does this
No,
sound
just
have I ever heard
this,
anything?
as far as I know, it's just three of us, and now Flint, I guess, has been awoken.
Probably not.
Sorry, I smell valuables.
Based on just the description from Tower alone, I would say no.
personally, I think I failed to travail
How
the
far
assailant of
was
the snail trail.
Quite a ways off, more than a football field. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. But they're not traveling at a pace that
Yeah.
they can
Pretty
easily be
slow.
caught up to. at
Very,
any
very
moment.
slow. And seems very much directional, I felt. It didn't seem like there was any wavering to
This thing is never moving more than 10 feet at a time. That helps visualize how slow it's going. And the
Well, it's been a while since we've done one of these, folks. We tried using a different kind of program to record the session, and that didn't end up going that well. So, here's what happened. It only lasted another, 15, 20 minutes or so after this. Aranoa and the others, they went up to confront the person collecting the snail trail and discovered that it's some kind of glass-making material that this snail trail is leaving behind in its this flail snail is leaving behind as part of its snail trail. And they decided not to accost these folks any further, despite the beauty and grandeur that is the flail snail shell, rather. So that's kind of what happened, and we decided that we were going to continue past this flail snail and follow her to our destiny beyond. And that was pretty much the end of the session. So join us next time or don't, because we don't care. Goodbye.